So today, we're going to talk about something kind of profound. It's the wisdom that people gain at the very end of their lives. But, and this is key, this isn't about dying. Nope. It's about taking those lessons, those really powerful, hard-won lessons, and using them to live a better life right now. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
Just think about that for a second. Seriously, what if you could get a cheat sheet for life? The real secrets to living well, written by the people who've already finished the race. Well, that's pretty much what we're going to unpack today.
All right, first up, lessons from the end. We're going to start by listening to the folks who know best, the ones nearing the end of their journey.
And our main guide for this is a hospice nurse named Julie McFadden. Now, she spent more than 15 years in palliative care. Think about that, a decade and a half. She's had thousands of conversations, and she's seen firsthand what really, really matters when everything else falls away.
And here's what's so fascinating. You'd think with all those different people, all those different lives, the regrets would be all over the place, right? But they're not. She found that they almost always boil down to just three big themes. And that's something we can all learn from.
So what's the number one regret, the one she hears more than any other? It's something so many of us take for granted, our health.
I mean, this quote just hits hard, doesn't it? I wish I would have understood how amazing it is to have a working body. And listen, it's not about wishing they'd been some super athlete. It's about the simple stuff, the gift of a body that just works, one that doesn't hurt all the time, that can walk, that can breathe easily. It's a huge reminder to just appreciate this body we've got while it's still running smoothly. Okay, on to the second big one. And this one's probably going to hit close to home for a lot of us. It's all about working too much. And look, the point here isn't that work is evil or something. It's all about the balance, you know? What people realize at the end is that their best memories, the things they cherish, they weren't made during late nights at the office. They were the trips, the experiences, the simple moments of just enjoying life that they wish so badly they'd made more time for. And that leads us right into the third and final category. And honestly, this one might be the most human of all. It's all about our relationships. And look at how specific these are. It's not some fuzzy, vague feeling. It's things like wishing they'd stayed in touch with old friends, or holding on to a stupid grudge for way too long, or spending their whole lives worrying about what other people thought of them. It just goes to show, in the end, it's the people in our lives that make it all worthwhile. Okay, so those three regrets, they make sense, but they can still feel a little abstract, right? Well, now we're going to see how this stuff becomes incredibly, urgently real. We're going to look at a story from a doctor that he says shatters our immortality illusion.
So this comes from Dr. Karan Rajan. He's an NHS surgeon, and he shared this one case that, well, it clearly never left him.
Just look at this timeline. It's brutal. A young woman in her 20s walks into the hospital at 10 a.m. By 9 a.m. the next morning, she's gone. In less than 24 hours. This isn't some long, drawn-out illness. It's just a shocking, stark reminder of how fragile life is and how we're really not guaranteed a tomorrow. And this is the conclusion Dr. Rajan came to. He said we have this tendency to just walk around like we're immortal. We plan for next month, next year, for retirement, someday. We put off calling that friend, taking that trip, fixing that relationship, all because deep down we think we've got all the time in the world. And this story? It's just proof that we don't. Okay, so we've got the regrets, and we've got this dose of reality about how fragile life is. So what now? What do we actually do with all this? How do we use it to live better, and maybe even prepare for a more peaceful end, whenever that might be? Well, let's go back to our hospice nurse, Julie, because she doesn't just point out the problems, she offers some really practical solutions. She's got two key strategies that she says can help cut through the fear and chaos for everyone involved. And it's really pretty simple. No hidden secrets here. It just comes down to two things: education and open dialogue. So let's talk about education first. The idea here is to just demystify the whole dying process, because a lot of the time, the fear of the unknown is way, way worse than what's actually happening. So if you can just learn what to expect, you can start to replace that fear with a sense of understanding. You know, for example, things like pain, shortness of breath, or even confusion and agitation. Knowing that these can be a normal part of the process, that's hugely reassuring for families. It lets them understand what's going on and focus on just providing comfort instead of getting caught up in panic. And the second piece of the puzzle is open dialogue. This is like the emotional side of the coin.
It means having those tough but really honest conversations. Talking to your doctors about what you want, talking to your family about how you feel, and maybe most importantly, being honest with yourself about your own needs and expectations.
So that's where we'll leave it, with a question for you. We've heard the biggest regrets about health, about work, about relationships. We've gotten a pretty stark reminder that life is fragile. So the only question left is, knowing all this, what are you going to do differently? What's one small change you can make starting today?